We talked a lot about what is in these previous speeches. I guarantee you the next person who is going to speak to you is the person in this room who has the most impact on what is to be and what can happen. His name is Joseph Masiello. He's a 6th grade English teacher at Cab Calloway School of the Arts. And he's been named the Delaware State Teacher of the Year for 2011. He is now a candidate for National Teacher of the Year who will be named in a White House ceremony in April 2011. He's taught 26 years. And for 17 years, when you look at him, you won't believe he's old enough to have done this. I think he's taught 6th grade since he was in 6th grade at the Cab Calloway School of the Arts. His activities have included the Wall Word Song, which was featured on NBC News. He served as a mentor teacher for the University of Delaware. He's won 2 Fulbright scholarships that took him to Japan and England. I'm starting to hate him. He's also shown a strong commitment to community service, Stocking for Soldiers, Count Us In Day, where students learn about people with cognitive and physical disabilities, and in Sneakers for Africa Day. He spent time in Haiti. He believes it is important to role model community service, so he serves the annual U.S. Veterans Thanksgiving dinner. He's escorted 32 students to Southern Europe as part of the People-to-People Teacher and Ambassador, and he also volunteers for the Boy Scouts of America. Perhaps there is sleep in there, I don't know. Please welcome a man of distinction and dedication, your Delaware Teacher of the Year, Joseph Masiello.
Thank you. When I was in 3rd grade, we had 4 reading groups. We had the Robins. These kids were amazing. They could read the encyclopedia. Then we had the Blue Jays. These guys were pretty good readers too. But we had the Cardinals. They weren't so good. But I said there were 4 groups. I was in the 4th group. I don't remember what our real name was, but I remember the kids called us the Bird Poop Group. And the reason they called us the Bird Poop Group, because we were the lowest group in the entire class. As a matter of fact, we were so low, we had to leave the room to learn how to read. When I say that everybody knew we were the lowest group in the class, seriously, I didn't know I was in the lowest group. I thought I was talented and gifted, because when I left the room, I was holding the hand of Mrs. Brabson. And let me tell you, Mrs. Brabson was the best teacher I ever had. She took me under her wing, and she took me back to that other group, and that's where she taught me how to soar above those other bird groups. Mrs. Brabson, she was my hero, because she knew what it meant to teach to reach every child. Let me tell you what she did for me. She taught me how to put my chin up, how to square back my shoulders, and how to walk back into that room of good readers and be proud of who I was, because Mrs. Brabson knew her audience. She was amazing. As a teacher of English language arts at Cab Calloway School of the Arts, I'm a person who loves a story with a lot of irony, and I have to tell you, my own personal story is as ironic as you can hope for to be Delaware Teacher of the Year. If I were to tell you that a young boy started school with Tourette syndrome and an undiagnosed learning disability, and that very same boy became the first person in his family to become the Delaware Teacher of the Year and to graduate from college, I don't know if you would believe the possibilities of that story. However, that's my story, and my story features many heroes, and these heroes were teachers, and they were teachers who took the time to find a learning style that best suited my needs. And it's because of those teachers that I'm here today to talk to you as the Delaware Teacher of the Year. You know, Henry Adams once said that teachers affect eternity. They may never know where their influence stops. That's my favorite quote, because it speaks to the power that teachers have to influence children, to change minds. Teachers are powerful. Let me tell you what, a teacher can send a child down a road that they had no idea they were even interested in, if you get the right teacher. You know that teaching, I believe, is one of the few careers that allows you to wake up each morning with a new chance to change the world. Now you may say, this guy's really dramatic, change the world. It's powerful, changing the world. Let me tell you, if you have the right teacher, you can change the the world. A teacher needs to know how to do this. If they're powerful enough, if they know how to teach to reach each child, that can happen. But with that power comes responsibility. And I want to tell you about a teacher who didn't know how to use that power. I had him in 6th grade. I'll never forget. I just told you I wasn't a good student. I couldn't read very well in 6th grade, but I could dance. And I was in the cafeteria, and I was shaking it up. I was dancing like a fool with 7 girls, and I'll never forget my 6th grade teacher as he walked by, folded his arms and stopped right in front of me. And he said, "Joey, sit down and stop acting like a girl." You know what? I sat down, and I never danced in school again. I wonder what would have happened had that teacher taken that moment to be my hero, or perhaps chosen that moment to say, "Hey, Joey, good job." Are you ready for this? Well done. You know what? It's not that difficult to be a child's hero. When I say hero, I have a feeling you guys are thinking of a caped crusader. Hopefully you're not picturing me in a pair of blue tights running around the school. Because that's not what, thank you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about teachers who go above and beyond their job description because it's the right thing to do, not worrying about losing their 45-minute planning period once a month. I'm talking about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I'm talking about teachers. I'm talking about that teacher who stays after school for 2 hours to tutor an English second language English language student. I'm talking about the teacher who goes to a child's house to make a home visit, to use that information to better serve the child the next day at school. Oh, I'm talking about ordinary, Charlotte, you recognize that, right? I'm talking about ordinary people who teach to reach each and every child in the class, regardless of how difficult it is, because that's the only way we'll become a child's hero, if we know our audience. Ignacio Estrada once said that if a child cannot learn the way we teach, perhaps we should teach the way they learn. That's the philosophy that that's the quote that I base my philosophy on. It's extremely important. So in closing, teachers affect eternity. We may never know where their influence stops. The way in which we decide to influence our children, it's up to us. Will we allow them to dance, or will we simply ask them to sit down? I hope you let them dance. Thank you.